Hello and Happy New Year to everybody for celebrating. Um, I've been kind of struggling with the celebration myself. I don't know, maybe you have too. Um, I've been through quite a bit. In fact, I had planned on going every single day with videos, and well, it obviously didn't happen. There's been a lot of stress situation going on. One thing that I did not expect during the 40-day thing is that I was scammed with the anticipation of a service dog, and thank goodness I caught on to it before I lost a huge amount of money. It took the processors to let me know that the accounts were invalid, so they kept returning the money. It didn't return like fast, so things were very tight and difficult for the month of December. And stress. And for anybody who has fibromyalgia, you know that stress and fibromyalgia are like oil and water. It's a matter of learning how to work through the stress, because every day is stress. There's stress in just getting up in the morning. There's stress in movement. There's stress in all sorts of things. So that was a challenge for me for the month of December. Also, finding work from home. I was successful some, but the reason I didn't post every day about it, which was my original intention, is because I was finding that a lot of the stuff was not that productive, not that good. There's one that was paying to read emails, and there were survey emails, and 2 cents a survey. Yeah. So they would add up, but it would take a little while for them to add up. So that's why I didn't say anything about it, because it was like, really? I'm not going to share with people about basically junk. And then there was a survey on Upwork that was really not that much junk, and it was fairly easygoing. So Upwork is a decent place, but it can be confusing. I'm still working on trying to comprehend that one. Fiverr is good, but I'm still not 100%, and I know that it requires you to be hired because you go on there as a freelancer. So that one hasn't quite panned out, or I would be sharing more about it. Remember, I said that I wouldn't share anything that I couldn't verify and validate myself. And there's a couple of others here on YouTube who do similar, with a similar attitude too. Now, in my particular case, what I've been doing, on the other hand, is I have been creating a new channel and creating something that I enjoy. Don't get me wrong, I enjoy looking for work, you know, be able to share the results so that you can grow. But when I'm stressed, when I'm just like, I don't know how else to explain it, you know, you just like anxiety and stress and emotion overload, I tend to turn to cooking and crafting. And now people have said, well, what kind of crafting? That's just it. It's just whatever floats my boat at the moment. I have done crochet, knit, embroidery, tat, macrame, beading, wire arts. And so I thought about it, and it's like, why not just share what I do in a club format and teach it? Because I've been commented that it's very professional looking, and I do know what I'm talking about. And I actually enjoy it. It's something that I do well with. The stress part is putting it all together. But it could end up being something really positive, which I'm hoping for because I'm really trying. It's a matter of finding your strengths and putting them to work. If you're IT tech and really good with IT, I would love to know, seriously. Now, the reason why is because IT techs, they are in such high demand that it's overwhelming. If you are strong with any kind of tech know-how, data entry, any of these things, and you don't even need a degree, just got it up here, that's all you need. I'd love to know, seriously. And if you are still looking for work, seriously, because I'd love to help you. And I'm sharing for those who are creatives, who are looking for a way to express themselves, that I have the Cooking and Crafting Club, which is a new YouTube channel. There is no activity there right now, so jumping on there right now is just, it's a work in progress. It will be up later this month, meaning January 23. Okay, I'm putting it out there. It's a slow process because I wanted to make sure that the book itself was ready before going and jumping into the channel. Because it's also on Facebook, and I think I may have set it up on Instagram, but not sure. And I think I sent it on Pinterest as well, but I could be wrong on both of those. It's still, I'm getting all the kinks worked out, you know? I'm really getting, I have a Gmail account for Cooking and Crafting Club. I can honestly say that. Yes, I have Cooking and Crafting Club at gmail.com. And then I also have the Fibromyalgia Kingdom Academy at gmail.com. But it's okay, nobody really has responded to it. And I also welcome emails, questions, etc. To me, and I won't put them in the description for safety, but those two are really good to get a hold of me. So the whole thing is, with change from New Year and past year, just by that difference of 1 minute, you know, the midnight to 12:01, do you realize in 1 minute how much chaos can happen? Or how much miracle can happen? Just in 1 minute. It can be so... Now, I didn't realize how much I was enjoying things, putting this stuff together for January, because I was watching time just... I didn't realize it. Of course, I'm not techie either. But I knew what I have the basics of knowing what I'm doing. You know, I can't just go out there being fancy or anything, but still. So my whole point is, what can you do in 1 minute? Because I noticed also those surveys that I was doing took about a minute and a half. Sometimes a little bit longer for 2 pennies. Now, if you take 2 pennies times 60, that's a whopping $1.20 in 1 hour. I'm sorry, what part of you comes to mind? So it doesn't pay off. And that's what I think about for every minute. How much is your time really worth in 1 minute? How much is life worth in every single minute? You see, I go back to the scam that I went through, and I wasted so much time in those incremental minutes stressing out of where is my income, what happened to everything, and so on. I did get the money back, minus $5. Now, the reason why the $5 is because they actually did get the $5, even though they said they didn't. It wasn't worth fighting over $5. It's like, okay, lesson learned. I won't be doing that again. So here's the kicker for the new year. Okay? This is fibromyalgia, stress alert, all in one. Okay? Now, I'd love to know if you find these kind of stressors. Okay, I'm going to give you an example here, and it's pretty intense. Okay? The membership that I have created for Cooking and Crafting Club is $10 a month, or $100 a year. Okay? Which is actually really good considering there's a meetup once a month and there's 10 plus patterns a month. Well, in this, yeah, about 10 plus patterns a month. You know, from small basics to big. I tried to make it a variety, and I will try to make it a variety just because I can. Anyhow, so where I'm coming from with this monetary point of 1 minute and 2 pennies versus everything else, I almost gave these scammers $500. I put in $250 as a down with $250 on arrival. I actually have a friend who breeds these dogs. Okay, so the original dog I was looking for is a Yorkie. I've been very adamant, a Yorkie service dog. One, they're small, so my wrists, I don't have to stress and worry about dropping the baby. Because my last one, I did drop at the end because it was so hard on my wrists. So I knew and my therapist said anything less than 10 pounds can be good. So I knew I wanted a Yorkie. And then I thought I wanted a Yorkie girl. Now this was before I did all my research and discovered that guys are actually better off with women and girls are actually better off with guys. So I remembered way back when I got my last service dog and how I was after a Shih Tzu. And there was a Shih Tzu there at where I went to, but he was so doggone cute. He was sitting there doing a little doggy dance and was just absolutely, oh, I just couldn't help myself. I was like, oh my gosh, you are so sweet. And so they insisted that I do a meet and greet. So they brought me and him into this area. Now, mind you, at that point in time, I wasn't picky about sex or anything like that. I didn't care female, male. I didn't know the differences. I just knew that I wanted a Shih Tzu. So he and I connected, and my voice went way high, and as soon as he connected with me, it dropped. And right then and there, we knew there was a connection made. There was a bond. Now, the reason why I bring this up is because when you have a service dog, there's a connection between the handler and the dog. This is true with canine police dogs as well. Their handler, there's a connection. You have to have that connection. So, in my particular case, I was trying to get a dog, and there was no connection. Okay? So this friend of mine that's breeder, I talked with her, and she said if it looks fishy and it smells fishy, walk away. She says even if it seems fishy, just walk away. And she says a normal Yorkie true breed, the base price is $2,000. Well, in our particular case, we're talking $3,000. I was able to give her the down instead because she just had a litter of pups. And then I realized, oh my gosh, what am I doing? I want this girl dog so badly, and yet I don't even know if she's gonna work. Just like that Shih Tzu that I wanted when I got my dog Frankie. I want a girl Yorkie, and it may be a boy Yorkie that I need. And so I've been having anxiety attack after anxiety attack. Now, thank goodness part is that we're locked in, we're ready to work, we're ready to roll. And I'm being prayerful about the rest of the funds to come together. I'm having faith on that one. But what I'm also realizing as I'm putting all this together, see, the term the stars have to all align. Well, the stars are trying to align, but there's still some offness. Now, this is just an example of how chaotic it can get. So I messaged her, and she said, let's talk. So we're going to be talking in the new year and going into a little more stuff, because even if I had all the funds right now, there's no guarantee that her litter of pups will work. Because what I have to do is I have to be in front of them, and if they come to me, if even one of them comes to me, that will be the one. Especially if we have that instant connection. And that's what I'm looking for. And if there's not there, then I have to pass on all of them after all this work. It's reminding me of all of these adoptive parents that go out to adopt a child, and they have their hopes up only to be dashed, or they do surrogacy and they get hopes up and they get dashed. Similar concept. Similar. Not the same, but similar. And I say not the same because the prep work is much different, and we're talking dog versus person. That's a big difference in itself. So I think that many parents might say, there's no similarity, and it's like, there is a very fine similarity. I'm not upset. I'm not going to be, it's just helping me to kind of realize, it's like a reality check of how these parents go through their adoption process and can be dashed in a moment's notice. So I know I've shared in the past about getting a service dog and the complications, and I'm sharing a couple of complications, and I'm hoping that I'm able to put all the stars kind of align. But I have this feeling that I'm going to have to wait for my pup until probably the middle of the year. And right now, what I'm dealing with the most, and I'd love to hear your perspective. I know I have faith. I know I pray. I know where I'm centered. But the lonely factor, the feeling just completely alone and physical. I've told people that I miss my cuddle buddy because Frankie was my cuddle buddy. He'd lay in bed and he would cuddle with me. He would let me hold him and hug on him. And for me, that was a lot in itself. And I didn't realize how much it really meant to have him doing that. Especially now because my mom has her husband. And my niece has her boyfriend. And the cats have each other. Literally, there's 2 cats. So I sit down here in my living area. It's like a studio apartment kind of setup. And it's very solitary. And it's not exactly the most fun. In fact, it's very difficult because there's no true connection. So, I'd love to hear your perspective on that. And what, because it can be challenging. So I would really love to know your thoughts. And I don't care whether they're positive, they're negative, what have you, because I'm just the thoughts. I'm going to continue working on finding work from home jobs that are realistic, not 2 cents a minute. And I'm going to still work on getting the membership part, the crafting part. And I'll start sharing a little bit here because, believe it or not, crafting and being creative and being technical are 2 really big ways to make an income. They really are. So if you're interested in learning more about the Cooking and Crafting Club, let me know in the comments below. And if you're interested in tech and you're tech savvy and digital savvy, let me know. And otherwise, I wish you a very good new year, and I hope that I come back with even more bright news and excitement. Until next time, take care and don't let the stress get you down, because life's still here, and as long as you're alive, you still got a lot of living to do.